County staff will be coordinating with the surveyors of today's approved preliminary plats to prepare the approval plats for recording. The Planning and Zoning Commission is also charged with evaluating requests for rezoning of property and advising the County Commission for their final determination. All decisions made by the Planning and Zoning Commission regarding zoning cases are advisory only, and the final determination of the zoning will be made by the Jefferson County Commission in a subsequent public hearing in which all property owners within 500 feet will be notified. With all people present, they please silence your beepers, phones, anything you have, any kind of electronic devices for us, please. And the clerk, will you please call roll? Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have a motion regarding the reading of the minutes from the July 11th, 2024 public hearing?
Chairman, I'd like a motion to suspend the reading of July 11, 2024 minutes and approve as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First, we will hear subdivision cases. The staff will present the case to the board, then we will call for opposition. The applicant and or their representative may be asked to come forward to the podium and answer any questions. Mr. Barton, would you please present the first case, S24-0055?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This subdivision was approved last month. This is on 1806 Triple H Ranch Road. It was approved last month by the Planning and Zoning Commission with a modification to the plat to provide a full secondary access to the development. Today's request is to amend that approval to not require that. This is based on a decision by Roads and Transportation has decided not to require that full secondary access, just an emergency only access. So that's what this is about today, is just to amend that to a simple approved and to remove the modification to that plat. We would obviously recommend approval on that.
Thank you, sir. Is any opposition to this case? The applicant, Mr. Shavano, are you present? Would you like to add anything to it? Okay, this time I'd call for a motion from the commission.
Mr. Chairman, S240055 is amended approval to not require a full secondary access to the development.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Our next case is S24-0060. Mr. Martin.
Yes, sir. This is a proposed subdivision to divide an existing acreage tract into two lots of record for residential use. This is 4300 Osage Drive in Birmingham. There are two existing structures on this on this existing acreage tract, and so the purpose of it is to divide those so they can have separate ownership. This is mainly a family split is what's going on here. Both of these lots were less than the 1 acre requirement for A1 zoning. However, they did receive a variance on July 22nd this year from the Board of Zoning Adjustment to have less than the 1 acre requirement. Right-of-way dedication will be required for Yuma Lane and Osage Drive, where adjacent to the property. No floodplain, and there's no sewer available to this property, so the Department of Health will have to approve and sign the final plat in any on-site septic system. Staff does recommend approval for this two-lot subdivision.
Thanks, sir. Is there any opposition to this case? Is the applicant here, Ms. Deborah Elo? And would you like to add anything to the presentation? Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval for S240060.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our next case is S24-0062. Mr. Martin?
Sir, this property is at 1220 McPherson Road, Mount Olive. The purpose of this is a resurvey of one existing lot into two lots for residential use. This is R1 zoning, and these do meet the minimum lot size requirement for that zoning district. There's no anticipated road access or traffic operation issues. No right-of-way dedication will be required here. No floodplain, and again, there's no sewer available, so the Department of Health will have to approve the on-site septic system and sign the final plat. Staff does recommend approval for this two-lot resurvey.
Is there any opposition to this case, please? Any questions from any of the commissioners? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that earlier. Okay. Is the applicant present, Mr. West Batoli? Okay. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval for S240062.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Our next subdivision case is S24-0063. Mr. Martin?
Yes, sir. This property is at 8821 Serene Drive, Ocala. The purpose of the subdivision is to divide an existing acreage tract into 3 lots of record for residential and agricultural use. This is approximately 122 acres. It's a large tract down there at the edge of the county. The 2 small lots that are being formed are just southeast there of Shades Creek. Those will be accessed by easement off of War Eagle Drive, which is a private road. But because they don't have road frontage, an exception to the subdivision regulations would be required to allow those to be recorded without road frontage. The subdivision does comply with all A1 zoning requirements in terms of lot size. No right-of-way dedication is required. There is Zone AE on this property. That's the floodplain hazard zone AE. So any development on those 2 lots, this is the ones that have that will have to have a floodplain development permit prior to any building permits that are issued. No sewer again, so the Department of Health will have to approve the on-site septic system for each of these. Staff does recommend approval with an exception to the subdivision regulations to allow lots 2 and 3 to be recorded with no road frontage.
Any opposition to this case, please? Is the applicant here, Mr. Bone? Any questions from the commissioners? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval for S240063 with the exception to the subdivision regulations to allow lots 2 and 3 to be recorded with no road frontage.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we will hear the zoning cases. The staff will present the case to the board, and we will then call for opposition. The applicant and/or the representative may be asked to come forward to the podium and answer any questions. Each side will have a maximum of 15 minutes. The Planning and Zoning Commission only makes recommendations on zoning cases. The Jefferson County Commission will make all the final decisions. Mr. Brown, would you please present the first case, please? And it is Z240034.
Yes, sir. This is a rezoning application, Mr. Chairman, from C3 and C1 to C1 to allow an existing convenience store. This is a compliance case. The property is located at 1388 Alliance Road in the investment area. The applicant is Darren Holmes of NNS Holdings, LLC. The county's future long-range land use plan identifies this property as rural. The property, as already mentioned, is zone C3 there. The use is a convenience store that's presently located there. And then your zoning map, what it shows you is there's C3 as well as C1 zoning on the property, but it's also contiguous to C1 zoning. On 3 sides to the north, east, and south, the property zone A1 agricultural. This is a street level view of what the property looks like today. It's Baggett's Quick Stop and Citgo gas station. Staff is recommending approval of this rezoning request as it is consistent with the county's long-range future land use plan. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is there any opposition to this case? Is the applicant here, Mr. Holmes? May I have a motion, please? Are there any questions or comments from the commission? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number Z240034.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Hughes, would you please present the next case, Z24-0037?
Yes, sir. This property is located at 5438 Mount Olive Road in Gardendale. The owner is Chalcedonian Baptist Church, and the applicant is Danny Miller. Mr. Miller is requesting to rezone this property from A1 agriculture to institutional 1 to bring an existing church into compliance. Currently on this parcel, we have a church, an accessory structure, and a parsonage on approximately 3.62 acres. It's surrounded by the A1 zone district. The future land use is rural. The institutional 1 zone can be considered in any future land use category. The rezoning proposed use of this is compatible with the existing surrounding land uses. Staff recommends approval. That's all I have, sir.
Is there any opposition to this case, please? Is the applicant here? Mr. Miller, would you like to add anything to the presentation? Any comments or questions from the commission? May I have a motion, please?
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number Z240037.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carries. Mr. Brown, would you please present Z24-0038?
Yes, sir. This is a rezoning application from RG Single Family to RT Townhome Zoning District to allow 159-unit residential townhome subdivision. Property is located at 2308 Hedrick Road in the Bessemer area, and the applicant is Matt Hogan of Sane Associates and Sam Johnson of Ram Woodland Trails LLC. If the applicant is present, I was told that the applicant would be asking to postpone this case. Would you like to come forward?
Could you please come to the podium and state your name and address, please, sir?
Sure. It's Rodney Barstein, 2200 Magnolia Avenue South, Birmingham 35205. Part of this property is located in the city of Bessemer, and we were supposed to go to the Bessemer City Council. The Planning and Zoning Board has approved our request for the portion within Bessemer, but the City Council didn't meet Tuesday because of National Night Out. So we are asking for a continuance because we want to get everything resolved through the city of Bessemer first before we come to your board and ask for the same type of rezoning. We just need a little more time.
Okay. Make sure you do get with the staff for your date.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
we
you're
will.
asking for a continuance carried over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. May I have a motion, please, at his request?
Sure, Mr. Chair.
Sorry.
Did you, talk about this, did you not want to also request that we look at amending the land use plan at
Yes.
the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
That would just need to be stated in your motion to carry it over, to consider, to carry it over for Bessemer to make an action, and then also to consider an amendment to the land use plan.
So staff, I can do two things in one motion, right? Just one motion, two things. Okay, sure. All right. You ready, Mr. Chairman? All right.
May I have a motion, please?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion. Sorry. I'd like to make a motion to carry over case number Z240038 in order for the applicant to get approval from the Bessemer City Council and also request an amendment to the future land use plan.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor to carry this case Z240038 over? Say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Our next case is 240012M-sign, a special use permit. Ms. Hughes, would you please present that, please?
Yes, sir. Sorry. This property is located at 7391 Narrows Road, Pinson. The owner is Oak Grove Baptist Church, and the applicant is Stephanie Smith with Reliable Sign Service. Mrs. Smith is requesting a special use permit to allow an on-premise electronic message center sign to be permitted along a road that is not designated as a state or U.S. highway. Currently, the sign is on Narrows Road, and Narrows Road is a two-lane paved commuter. This is the existing sign here to the left, and the proposed sign is on the right. The sign is actually on a 13-foot pole, and we don't allow pole signs in the institutional 1 zone district. So a variance will be needed in order, if this board recommends approval, a variance will be needed for the sign to remain on a pole. The sign is approximately 43 feet from the road. The sign face is approximately 48 square feet, and according to the zoning regulations, they're allowed a maximum of 60 feet, so they meet that. In the event that this request is approved, staff recommends approval, with the condition that a special use shall be allowed not to operate after 10 p.m. and that the approval of the Board of Zoning adjustment for the 13-foot pole sign. That's all I have.
Okay. Is there any opposition to this, please? Is applicant here? Ms. Smith?
She's not here, but I'm here in her place,
Okay. Would you like to add anything to the presentation, please?
unless you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the commission? Do you understand the variance and what she's talking about, approval?
Yes, sir, and I've talked with the same company, and it's going to be equipped with a thing that you can, on timer, and we can set it to go on or off it, whenever we need.
Like 10 p.m., I think is the date on it. Okay. You understand all that? Okay. Any questions, comments from the commission? Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion for approval on case number 240012, Emerson Mike sign, with the condition that the variance is granted by the Board of Zoning Adjustment to allow the pole sign in the institutional one zone district, and that the electric message center sign will not be operated after 10 p.m.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. This concludes the meeting of Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Commission. We may all go home.
I can't believe this.
117.
Yes.
The loss.
I said 30.
JJ was on a mission today. Like,
Yes, he was, and on time.
All right, Michael. So you said he would sign, right? All right. Okay.
We're going to offer you mine, sir.
All right.
16 minutes.
That was wonderful.
Of course, that was